following is a presentation of MRE Uno, Division 1. This has been a presentation of MRE Uno, Division 1. When you hear the words OG, you think about guys that have been here before the concrete was laid. Well, that's the man, the myth, the legend. He may be a server owner, a league owner, but tonight he makes his 100th career start. He's been around these parts. He knows the ebbs and the flows, every part of the building, every crack, every creak, every little wrinkle. And that's where Myth's been here. 12 for 12 in the regular season. He's never been to Super League, but tonight he gets that 100 start, which is magical for that 100 career club. And then here comes a guy in Austin LaPlante. The mountain, the top of the mountain, a guy that everyone knows and loves for not just the Sharpies, but his play style on a table and some good hardcore streams. That's what ALP brings. He's Mr. Excitement, he's Mr. Entertainment. You don't want to miss him, and if you do, it happens. But he's one of the best out here bringing the entertainment against the man, the myth, the legend. Something's got to give. It's Myth ALP. And hello, everybody. Welcome to the Ultimate Nightcap. The latest you can get out of KT stream is 9:30, and we're going to run it tonight at 9:30. And how did we get here today? What a crazy day today. 3 6-11s. This will be the third one. But we started off with an instant cinema game with Peter and Goldie. Peter took care of business in a game of back and forth. Peter had a +4. Goldie had a +4. Number efficiency. End arounds. It's everything you wanted in a game that only won 6, but Peter got the job done. In our only game that won 7 today, unfortunately had some mishaps, but Clay found a way, after the logistical headaches, to get a Game 7 power play win, similar to Toaster guy tonight. 6-2, found a way, got the job done, and steals one late. Nam got a 4-1 win, but as Nam said, and he was not here, but he said was a little bit lucky. Got the win, top decks, a little bit of some monster hands, but he found a way to get some momentum and sparks. And the 6-11 train, the 6 seeds continue to roll with Sanford winning his 250th career start and his 200th start in the regular season, and got the number 20, only one of two to get that 20th regular season win as he moves on to the next round of plays either to Peter or Steven. Myth LaPlante shortly coming up right here, and we go into the match preview of veteran versus novice battle. The old blue skip versus the green 5. For Myth, not ranked, but a really solid performance here last year. Top 20 was starting to roll. LaPlante had that 9th in March last year, then finished it up with a 43rd. There was a time where LaPlante went 9th, 43rd, 9th. Crazy how his career started. But he had a struggle in March. He was taking care of business up 3-0 against Clay. Unfortunately, a reverse sweep and some bad fortune puts him at an 11 seed. Myth had an alright March. Despite the cap loss, had the Radin win. Stays around that 6-7 line, where he's been his whole career, as Charles Sanford once said. Let's go into the old Mustang region pod. Well, it's going to say this. Can Myth get the job done and play Ghost? Or does LaPlante find the upset? We'll find out. Ghost Grim, going to be a good one. Two fast players, the creator versus the fastest in the West. Going to be smooth on that one. Logan Dark, as of right now, will be the co-finale. We also have a non-stream running parallel with Shamik and Rogers, but we still have one more game to potentially be scheduled. We'll keep you updated. But as of now, that's the co-finale. Lane and Eric, we apologize. The graphics wrong. That's on me. I should have caught that. It's going to be Thursday at 8 o'clock, not Friday. Thursday, 8 o'clock for Wayne Eric. That'll be one of the last games of the round, though, as a non-stream. Well, going to be a fun night here. Joining me in the booth as I'll get the scene all set up and ready to go. It's going to be my good friend Tapir. It's been a hot man since me and Tapir have commentated the game. It's good to have him back. And, of course, our two players, Myth and Sharpie Man. Let's begin with Tapir. Tapir, obviously, you look at Myth, a player that's been around, an OG. He's been around these parts before. But one thing about his game that a lot of people may or may not know is it's evolved. From the past, it's been a little bit more one-dimensional. He's got the 2-3-dimensional. We know he loves to play quick, 6-7 cards. Do you think that's going to work on a player like LaPlante who plays boom or bust, or do you think LaPlante playing boom or bust adds an extra layer of variables that he may not see coming?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Considering Myth has quite the experience level, right? He's got that own league of his own, so obviously he's got that experience. I think he'll be able to fend off whatever attacks Austin LaPlante's going to throw his way. I think for Austin, it's going to be pretty much hoping to get the job done as quick as possible, right? Because as far as as far as the game goes, the more it continues, the more I think Myth is going to pick up on maybe a couple more tips and tricks. And he's going to use those, and maybe they're going to backfire on Austin a little bit. So hopefully, either player, we're going to see, warp speed Scotty tonight. I think we're going to see a lot of fast pace. We're going to see, hopefully we're going to be able to keep up with it. As, commentators, refs, the players, the viewers at home, we're going to see a lot of, back and forth action. Hopefully it's going to be something we can keep up on, break it all down. I think it's a toss-up tonight. It can go either way, but either way, I'm excited. Sunday night, late night Uno, that's what I'm here for. Let's get it.
All right, we'll begin with Austin LaPlante as we'll wait for mid-serve. Austin, obviously we know and love you for the Sharpies, man, but more than just that, you're a hell of a guy in terms of entertainment, but you've been having a little bit of slump recently, can't get out of these round ones. What are you going to do to get under Mid's skin tonight, knowing that he plays this more OG style to get the win and ruin his 100th night here, his 100th start night?
Just going to play what I always have to play. Smooth and consistent. Make the right moves. Don't do anything too early or crazy, or else it's going to be a short, very slow month for me again.
All right, short and simple, sweet to the point, like a backside 720 that was smooth from Austin LaPlante on the ramp. We'll go over to Myth. Myth, obviously, before I get to your ceremony, my friend, you're playing LaPlante. First time you're playing him. Right, new player. You've played a lot of players in your career, but this is a different type of night. A little bit special knowing it's the 100. What does it mean, man, to not only play tonight with this 100 and all that, but to play in this environment, knowing you've had a crazy career as well?
Ready to give it my all. Having my 100th start, it's gonna mean a lot because I've been around from the beginning, and at that point in my career, I wasn't even going to be in Division 1. I was going to be in Division 2. I'm just chilling in Division 1, and I'm hoping to get more than just a round 2 run this tournament.
All right, we'll go over to your career stats here. Myth's career stats. He's may have never made a Final Four, but he's made one Elite Eight. That was a good old Masquerade May last year. He just fell short that crazy run to Brad. And then 2 Sweet 16s. He's got the old Slurpee record, 7-11, 48-51. 48.48 win percentage in his career, 26.42 starting seed, and his finishing 26.45, basically 0.03. Nothing really in it. He's a mid-pack player. He's been the ultimate right outside top 25 guy. I'll go over to Sanford here before I get to Mid's thoughts. He kind of gave his thoughts, but Sanford, you're kind of good to bring you in here. You just got done with a milestone game. Your thoughts on Myth as a player, man? You said it earlier, and I think it fits his career. He's been a 6-7 player his whole career. He's been scrapping. Guys like us have been at the top of the mound where the air is thin. He's been where the air is musty, and he's got to scrap for everything. Your thoughts on those kind of players, especially as they enter the 100 Club now? We'll see that with a couple others, Bowtie as well coming in.
I think for Myth and players like him, for them to get to 100, it's a statement at least of versatility, of hanging around, kind of doing what they need to do. But it's definitely a sign that also because he's been here since the beginning. It's one of those things you can tell that he's had his struggles. There's a reason why he's in that spot where he's been usually about a 6 or 7 seed for most of his career.
Right.
So he's a guy who is prone to that upset. So it's definitely a spot where LaPlante could easily get the job done. He's played out of this role before where he's not expected to get the series win on a night and is able to get a deep run. So I think for Myth, he's going to have to definitely tread carefully. He's going to have to get past that pressure or the hype around getting to that 100th game. And how well can he put that past him and just kind of get down to business and what he needs to do?
Well, we'll see if we can get down to business. Myth, I'm going to ask you one question, man. You played a lot of players in your career. You may not remember them all, but what's one of your favorite memories so far in your now 12th tournament in your career history? What's one moment that sticks out?
One of my favorite memories was last year when I made it to the Elite Eight. Just making it as far as I did.
Yeah, man, you had that crazy 5-2 or 4. Yeah, I think it was 4-2. It was 4-2 down against Vapor. You got the 5-4 win. That Sweet 16. Sure, you lost to Brad, but that was the old Myth Sanity run for sure. I'll go quickly to Tapir before we start the game. Tapir, you've obviously known Myth is I got to be more off the table, right? Really big instrumental figure, not just in Uno, but really I think it's server management. This guy runs a almost 1,300 member server, right? He's got multiple events. He hosts everything. Hosts with the most for sure. Your thoughts on him getting 100 starts tonight before we start?
Oh, well, it's obvious he's made a name for himself, right? I think Sanford put it perfectly. Somebody that's gotten to 100 career starts has obviously learned some things, and he's able to teach those and pass those along to other players. So I think he's got a really good arsenal of strategy under his belt, right? And I think he's going to use that to his absolute advantage. And I do want to say, Myth, you put down something very important I wanted to pick up on, just about generally just getting the job done and being here as long as you have. I think a lot of players, and most certainly everybody in this chat tonight, has gotten to that point where they have to either decide whether or not they want to stay where they are or actively work on getting better, right? Because you've got basically that decision point where you could be, the top of your class in, let's say, the novice class, but now you're going to work to get to the legend veteran class and all that. So I think there's a little bit of that evolution going on for all players, right? Picking up different things and using them to their advantage. I think it's really interesting you put that down there.
Yeah, it's the evolution of the league, man. It's the beauty with class system. Obviously, you start as a rookie, but some people, they skyrocket. We saw the rookies last year, as Brad, yourself, Ashley, Cap, right, to name a few, and they're already up to the Legends class. And you got something like Myth. He didn't have classes back in 23, but he would be the classified OG vet. He's similar to Monkey. Those two have always been the veteran class. We just never had one class in 23. And then once we started to add those on, they've been a part of the class forever. That's the beauty of the league, for sure. It's the evolution. It's the grind. It starts the year in February, right? And you leave it out on the table till August. Then we'll see if you get to the playoffs in August, September. And off season, run it back. That's the beauty of it. Well,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's gonna do it. It's hard to believe I'm saying this, Myth. It's your 100th game, man. It's crazy to think that we're here, but we've got to get to your game one. I've called you now here for 19 times in terms of these calls, your 19th career series. What's it going to be for that game one, my friend? Most famous words. You know the rules. It's going to be the OG. What are we thinking?
Yep, 7 cards.
The OG. Put her on the chat. Let's go. Let's get it done. 7 cards indeed. And we'll go to a Monkey 3. How about that? The 2 OGs in the league. Keeps it cool. All right. Well, you knew that was coming. The old W. All right, well, double W. There you go. And a Monkey double.
It was a canon event.
Yeah, that's right. Now we'll go to LaPlante here as he looks to fire and trying to boil the party. Of course, Myth's 100 game. We've seen these work 2 ways, right? Sanford, you can ask Sanford, can win one. And there's LaPlante, the usual. Play some ammo. Let's see how it goes. into the old Gerard and Acosta. Now Myth with 2 freshies. He'll go 2 back. LaPlante takes the early lead. Plays it cool. ALP. Let's see if he can put markers all over Myth tonight. We'll find out. He'll go double ditto into Sting. We'll see Sting tomorrow. And Myth's out. Here comes LaPlante. Does he have a switch in the back pocket? No, but he'll keep it clean. You can see one thing about I noticed about LaPlante appear early. Right, having some more in the reserve tank, having some of that yellow in reserves. In the past, maybe he runs out of yellow and that's it. He's got some more in the reserves tank early. Makes it a little interesting. Now
A little bit of that defense mechanism, I think, kicking in there.
Yep, and that's not even if he draws you, right? He had a couple more extra cards than you would usually see of him as we go into our first Draw City population dose of the night. As we run into
And right,
Draw City.
that's ALP's goal, right? Drag him into Draw City, fill his hand up with hopefully a bunch of garbage there. It's going to take him quite a while to get that kind of whittled down.
Well, playing a player typically, and Sanford can attest to this if he wants, not a player to really use Draw City as leverage. He usually gets out of it pretty quick. But if he wants to stay in it, he may be content with the 7 cards. We know we're playing a guy to use 5, 15, one of those max min players, as such as Ghost. So continue to draw back into, just a reminder to the folks at home as we continue this first round of Automotive April. As we go into the Group 7. 5 games today. This is the 5th of 5th. Of course, we've had 4 earlier. No rookies. We have a little storyline developing. 0-3 for the rookie class. Novice class, I want to say, I think this Zach played today, and he lost as we go into red. Vets, obviously, we saw Monkey take the win yesterday. As we go into Knight and Ghost, we'll see Ghost a couple days later. Knight tomorrow. There we go. Appreciate that correction. Arya as well. We'll see later in the week, in the evening on 26th, as we go double ones. Here comes the Myth looking to fire back. He'll go for the quick hitter. Skip into a deuce. Lara pointing that gun right at you. Goes in the gun. Here comes LaPlante looking to fire. You got to think the action's quick to pre-call this. There's the answer right back from LaPlante. Goldie into Yepez. It's about answering. It's about tick for tack. It's about understanding your opponent. They're both mimicking each other. Mirror playing right now. Double play there for Myth. Caesar into Vapor, and that gives Myth a little bit of an advantage. Now let's see if LaPlante fires back. He'll fire into a switch into M. We'll see M. Caesar coming up on Wednesday. Here comes Myth. Does he have anything on the blue? LaPlante with a little advantage now. Oh, he's going to cross it back over with a rare back to wild crossover. Uses the +2, and we're tied up. LaPlante 2 freshies. Does he have anything? Into a 0 sugar. Spear, talk to me about that crossover move right there for Myth as we go into a green 4 into cap. Talk to me about that crossover and the art of a crossover from a player perspective. Go ahead.
Well, see, it's hard to determine because on one hand, that could be a fade look, right? That blue made Pandora's box. You would think he'd have something in blue. And just a little bit of a fade look, get back to that green, and hopefully force LaPlante's hand to get back into the blue. But on the other hand, maybe he just doesn't have blue, and he's just going for plan A right here. We'll see.
LaPlante talked about that clear, consistent, concise Uno. He talked about the pregame. And that's going to be game over. Myth with a double +4, saves the top decks and or Draw City and gets the job done. He's 1-0, wins that 100th game in that 4-2-1. Myth, we'll go to you first, man. Pretty consistent right there as LaPlante shocked a little bit. Was that a case of some good Draw City? And talk to me about that +2, or when you play 7 cards, when you get 2 extra, was that some of that good luck coming to you off that +2, or you contend to Draw City, considering we only had played yellow and partially red to go into the green and use that as an enabler with the 4-color Pandoras at the end and hide it off? Talk me through it.
Yeah, most of the cards I got to help me at the end, they all came from that Draw City. At the start, I had pretty much nothing to work with. Then Draw City came along. Just trying to look at what cards benefited me. And the wild came from the +2.
Wild came from the +2. I got you. All right. Pretty concise win there. Saves it up. Used the double +4. Go to LaPlante. Good +2, man. I mean, you looked like early in the game you had something cooking, but then ultimately his +2 in blue forced your hand and you just couldn't connect. Was that a case of you accept the dice roll of the 7 cards, and it may have not worked out, but you at least had a little bit of momentum knowing you were ahead on the terms on the scoreboard for most of that game and had control, just lost it at the end because you have to do a little more fading. I don't know. Hard to really say on a 7 there. What's your thoughts on that game?
Yes to that, and I also didn't have much to show for if I was not getting the cards that I need. I didn't get much +2s, and I didn't even have a +4 at all. So just no luck there. 7, about lucky 7. Yeah, not a lucky number to me.
That's the old classic response. I mean, it's really hard to say much in terms of bounce back on what both players can do because it's that mutual respect on that mid to low tier. We know LaPlante can do 5. We know Myth is a guy to play 7, 6, 8. I think it's just more of a wait and see. Hard to read, feel or game. Would you say so?
Absolutely, yeah. It's only game one. Game one. OG card start, just testing the waters a little bit. Wasn't really much, the plant could do there. It was just basically, I've said it before. At some point, you just have to go for the plan A, just go for the kill. And that's what Myth did today in this game one here. Because he's got the +4s, he's just basically GG on his end. So he just kind of went for it, and it worked out for him.
Yeah, went for the gap. Had a little bit of, went for the gap, but when you got a little back end +4s, back pocket, let me tell you something. That is cooking, and that's what you want. We'll go over to game 2, though, and it's Myth once again controlling the start. Everything but 7, my friend, for game 101, the Myth 101 Classic. What do we got?
All right, I'm going to go for 8.
All right, crazy 8s. Here we go. That's the old classic Myth, man. 6, 7, 8 runs it pretty consistent. Here we go. Similar to Cap. We talked about that Cap when Myth when they played. Had it pre-typed, says Tago. He's starting to get the reads down pat. Now, we'll see. Can LaPlante fire in a massive advantage here in terms of ammo? He hadn't got much that first game. Can he get some ammo and get creative? That's where he really cooks.
Keep in mind, this is going to be extra huge for Myth here because 2-0 is a lot better than 1-1.
Absolutely. Of course, if LaPlante wins, he'll steal home table. Myth looking to keep that home table. There it is. I just talked about it. There's the read, right? We talked about when you get the ammo, you can get creativity. And he's getting creative just like that. And there's LaPlante starting to find a little of that creativity.
Ooh.
Into red. That is a big bullet play there for Myth, hoping that he wouldn't have anything. Did LaPlante fade it? He does. So LaPlante with the fade. That's big.
Sneaky. Oh, and there's wild blue there.
Gonna go for the aggression. Yep.
There's your wild there, KT.
Yeah, the old KT wild, but LaPlante can run, so it's aggressive city for old Myth. Let's see if that pays off.
We're tied up 3-3.
Aggression out of control early so far for both players. Here comes LaPlante. He can still run the blue. Not the worst decision for him. And he can vibe into it. That's big. Now Myth into a blue 5, and let's see if LaPlante, if he can survive the test, as we're down to deuce and deuce just like that. LaPlante for check. Does he have it? He's got the check on the artificial switcher. Back to yellow. What does Myth have? He's going to steal it at the end. Oh, man. Nothing you can do about that, LaPlante. I don't have anything, buddy. You ran that pretty damn well. Not getting the cards. I got nothing. There's a Tago +4. Yeah,
The generator goes crazy.
I think that's gonna. I mean, Myth. I find it hard to believe because you pretty much played Plan A. Was that a case of just really good hand right there? Nothing to say.
Yep, I had a solid hand there, and I was able to find the direction of the cards. I started off with wild and a +4 with the card starting at a red. I was able to navigate the direction all game.
Right. Yeah, that's tough one to swallow there, I would say, to appear for LaPlante. He's getting KO'd right here, but that's what we expect on 5 to 8. I mean, we talk about the buy and all, but you can't fix much with 5 to 8. That's how the cookie crumbles. 10 plus, we saw it today with Peter and Goldie, right? They played a little higher. you can get some solid games. 5-8, you're rolling the dice. And that's how Myth plays. It's roulette every time, and can you cope with it, for sure?
Absolutely. I think my one consolation, if I was ALP here, is the law of averages. Because as we've seen so far in this series, it's been pretty much plan A, and it's been a luck-dominant game. So I think if I'm ALP, I'm hoping that arrow's going to shift back in my advantage, and I'll have the upper hand. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think it's a good matchup so far. Still a lot of games to go.
Yeah, Myth Plant looking for a short little stat checking. Hasn't won in over 9 months, and we talk about droughts in this league, man. Myth had, I think, entering T3, it had been a year for him, and it just shows you the preciousness of a win. Right now, everyone talks about Super League and yada yada yada. There are guys on streaks. Look at Art. He lost yesterday. He's on a streak of losing. It takes a while. You just have to stick with it. So we'll see. We saw Charles Sanford down 2-0 tonight, and guess what? He flipped the script pretty damn good. So nothing's out of the question here for LaPlante, as he knows anything can happen. It's past the 7. All right, LaPlante. It's back to you, buddy. First time calling a game here. Game 3, free board in this series. What are you going to do? Didn't spoil the party early, but what we got?
Just want to get a quick tidbit. I only had 2 reverses and nothing else. Just want to give you a tidbit for you. 5 cards.
Oh, my goodness.
Really rolling the dice there.
Austin LaPlante is throwing the dice. My word. LaPlante is throwing the dice, and that's the start you want up here. You want to skip start. That's big.
I'm just going to throw this in here for short if he's over here watching. Let's go gambling.
No. Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy. This is big for... Well, that's good.
Big short.
That's good. That's good. If they both got a draw, it's a neutralizer for sure. LaPlante, little top deck city. And Myth's going to flip it over, and now we'll have a game here. Here we go. 5-on-5 now. LaPlante plays the blue 4. Here we go. He's got the 1 possession lead. Myth's drawing, now LaPlante can run. Here comes LaPlante. He's going to draw here, so this is 2 color off the bat here, red and green for sure. God thinks to appear 2 color, 5 cards. What do you expect? Nothing less. Could be a drag out.
Absolutely. You only have so many options on a 5-card start.
Austin LaPlante has thrown the dice. Will he strike it big? Does Myth go up 3-0 power play in the back pocket for both if we need it? We'll talk about that a little later, though.
At this point, I'm just expecting who's going to be the first one to 7 out, right? You're going to have someone's going to go try and race against the clock, hopefully get that color of fish down, maybe run a color or 2. The ALP switching to that red, so we'll see how that works out
well,
for him.
That doesn't work for him because now Myth had the answer. We talked about the red possibly lacking. LaPlante, maybe. Let me just check. Was that his first wild of the night? Let me see. I believe it was his first regular wild. He's still yet to play a +4, so he has not been getting much, and he'll fire right back with a huge triple play if he can get that corrected. He will. He will, yep. So there's the triple play. LaPlante now throws the triple, and he throws back at that +2. Erases it just like that, and Myth will play cool. Cool as a cucumber goes Myth. Does LaPlante have any extra in the reserve tanks after we go to DJ5? He'll go 1 down into Tapir himself. There he is, buddy.
Perfect. We love to see it.
Yes, sir. LaPlante, can he run as we go into Andreas Allen? We'll see him on Tuesday. Now LaPlante. Just go for it.
Oh, just quick tidbits. We had that 6-5-4 small straight going.
Yeah, always love that. Always love the small straight going. Let's do the 3 there to keep it running, but we don't
green
get it.
There.
Yep, into the green. Now LaPlante on the doorstep. We'll get a ditto play on the 9s. Here comes LaPlante. Does he have his first? Can he sign the deal moment with a check tonight? Let's see.
We are dressed to the nines tonight.
No, and that's big for Myth. He can run the greens if he has any more. LaPlante draws, Myth still running, and just like that, Superior, we're tied.
Doesn't take much here.
No, not 5-card start. It goes quick, and now LaPlante's down. Here comes Myth. Doubled Yepez, and he's using the number of fish.
That one will be big. Send ALP back one more. Unless he top decks something, maybe.
Well, at this rate, he's got to find something. Does Myth have a +4 combo to finish it off? Looking for the 3-0. There it is!
Oh
It's
God.
called! The read is there, and it's 3-0 Myth. Unbelievable. Well, LaPlante, you went for the gamble, man. I don't have much. I got nothing here, man. I don't blame you.
Oh, dang it.
I don't blame you there, man. I don't blame you there.
I love it.
There it is.
You went for the
The
gamble.
deed is done.
You went
No
for,
way. No way.
No way, he says. I don't got anything, man. I don't have a question. Nothing for me. You iced me out on the questions. I'm gonna be. Yeah, this is not much I can do.
Oh, dang it.
Myth, this is what you really are good at, man. You usually go to this 5 to 8, and you can just be able to run it. Thoughts about getting the win? You have the power play now advantage in the sense that you only need one more. You got one more to go.
Yeah, so the +4 came from the draw city, and I was just able to have the direction go over. And when LaPlante was at 2 cards, I thought of using the +4 there, but I decided to save it for a bit longer, and that paid off.
I don't have much here. Normally I have some type of, maybe go a little higher, but this is starting to remind me of shades of, unfortunately, Myth Carson all over again. And I was just about to say that. It's Myth Carson all over again. Ironically, it was T2, and Myth basically had the same type of win. It was a 9-minute series, and this time we're at least 10, but not much to really say here. I don't have much. It's just that LaPlante's fighting a little bit of the bot, but he's also decided to gamble, and you win some, you lose some. That's how it goes at the old table, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, LaPlante, I highly doubt you're going to go out swinging here with a 5. So what do we got here? Are we going to go for the top of the tier? What are we thinking? What are we thinking, my friend? Game 4.
Let's go gambling.
15.
Full send. It had it in my mind. Loaded it up. There's the max to the min to the min to the max. And we saw this. I want to say we saw this with Ard yesterday. I think he may have did that, I believe, looking back at some of these stat logs. So let's see if it works out. That was a different scenario. That was a 15-minute delay. This is a right on it. Let's see. Logan 3. New card in the deck. First full send of the night. Can LaPlante find it? We'll go double Logan 3, the newest card in the deck.
Ditto off the start.
Yep, Ditto on the bot. We'll go into the lucky 7s from Nightwalker. And LaPlante into the red deuce, Zach 103. Now Myth with the switch. Power play is on for both. Both guys can use it whenever. LaPlante, a guy to normally use it more in interesting ways to get the wins and play conventional. Myth, a guy sometimes he's struggling with in his career, but up 3-0, a lot of pace differential to use tonight. And there's
JT, you
Huh?
Yep.
What were we gonna say, Sabrina? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, yeah, I was gonna say, if you're ALP, right, you can't take it with you. You're just gonna have to burn that, keep the dream alive, right?
Yeah,
Burn that power play.
It's a slow burn for. We always talk about LaPlante as levels up there. It's a slow burn, right? And he's got to take it one game at a time. And the only advantage, if there is one advantage he has, he was up 3-0, right, against Clay, and he unfortunately fell victim to it as he goes for a double +2 there into a 5 JT. So he knows how to be on both ends of the little spectrum. The question is, he's on the opposite here. Can he pull a reverse sweep? It starts with this game, and then you start thinking about power play. If you can get that Game 4 win, then you may think about it for Game 5. But Myth is just going to go for the break, man. Gets rid of that +2, and he's just going for it. He's got every answer. And you can see it appear. When you have every answer in the case of Myth, You're just feeling like you're on house money every single turn, and that's a dangerous mindset for LaPlante to go into, where he doesn't feel like he's on house money every turn, for sure.
Very true. And I think if you're Myth, you got to be careful, because if you lose at this next one, okay, granted, you got time. If you lose the second one, now it's 3-2, and now you're in a little bit of a spot. So I'm thinking if I'm Myth, I'm going to try and shut this down quick as possible.
Oh, that's a big crossover back from Ghost to Peter. LaPlante's going to have to readjust on the Blues. Does he have a 1? He's got it back!
Ooh.
Crossover back to Ghost. Myth, I can feel with you right there, buddy. I can go right with you. Does Myth have a crossover back? Potentially to another color? Or he draws and he's iced and now LaPlante can run. This is what he needed.
Oh, dang it.
Okay. All right, here
If you're
comes...
ALP, you are at code red, and I think that's what he's realizing.
That's not code red, it's a jailbreak.
Code green.
Okay.
All right, here.
Huge jailbreak there for LaPlante.
You can see the aggression is really heaping up here. I mean, at this point, ooh.
Back to blue, there
Wild
it is.
into blue, just does not want that green.
But the question is, did LaPlante save some of that blue? Yeah, it'd be an interesting one if he did. Oh, no. And, oh boy. Well, there's that composure, man. And oh, boy, this is... And that's the wild flush, right? It's a common play, and unfortunately for LaPlante, he's got to hope for a 7 heaven, right? He's got to find some number of fish to get it back to that green he wants. He'll get a top deck. That's good to keep the score in line, but still, momentum's still in Myth if we keep the blue. And it'll go 0, sure, that's hard to switch on. And it will work. Continuing a number efficiency. There's the blue 8. Can LaPlante get the efficiency on the green back from the blue 8? And he can't find anything. The momentum is shifted back in Myth's favor. LaPlante had made the break, and now Myth is starting to run cleaner. Myth loading up here, looking for a potential +2, and he's got the lead just like that. He's starting to flip the script here, Tapir.
Sure is. We're going to see how long he can run that blue, if he can run it at all. Here comes ALP.
Oh, he's got what he needed with the green, though. That's huge. But does Myth save it? He does, and that's what he's been really good at with these lower-tier cards. When we get down to 6, 7 cards, midway through a 15-carder, it goes back into his advantage. You got to think. LaPlante needs to get this to 2 or 3 with a run. That will help right there a little bit.
Just a touch. Quick double play there.
Looking for the tie. He gets it back, but LaPlante with the possession arrow, the PA. Now does he have a little PO magic right there with the Peter Onjak post office service and gets some number of fish or plays it clean. He plays it clean down to random. The 1 down this time combo. Here comes Myth. He'll go 2 up to LaPlante's card. LaPlante firing back. Can he fire more, though? He was firing on these greens earlier. He went to the green wild. Myth had went to blue, and he's iced. Is it double ice? Or is it double JT dry? Here comes Myth. Is it a power play for the win? Loads up.
Here we go.
Christian Tago thinks power play. No, it's going to be a fake.
No. A little bit of those typing games going on, possibly.
Ooh, in the yellow 3. So LaPlante goes for the break. Could he have anything in the back end? He goes for the break. Oh my goodness, there's nothing you can do. And that's a 4-0 sweep. Myth gets it done. Second sweep.
I can't stop winning.
Yeah. No power.
We need to stop the terror.
Oh, man. And here comes Austin LaPlante.
Didn't even need that power play.
Oh,
Just
yeah. That's it. Oh, my goodness. He's
I can't stop winning. I can't stop winning.
He didn't throw his mind.
I can't stop winning.
LaPlante has thrown the Sharpie and has thrown the computer screen on the table. Damn.
I can't stop winning.
All right. Let me. All right. Let me go to Myth. I mean, crazy series, man. You played your home, right? 5 through 8. You played your home, and then you found a little bit of magic on the 15. Was that last game more a case of you let LaPlante run, and that wild flush ultimately gave you the back end to finish the job? Because I think that wild flush is what you need to finish the job. That really gave you the advantage for sure.
Definitely, because earlier on I was struggling to find momentum, but then once I was able to play that wild card, then like I was able to piece everything together. Once he transitioned over to green, and I was able to run the green to the end.
I gotta say, man, you're gonna be playing your obviously you know Ghost for Grim, you both know them. But your thoughts on just if you get either one, because they play more of this aggressive style, the pace. You're also quick on the pace. I mean, you know for a guy to finish a series under 30 minutes. Thoughts on just tonight how you were able to take advantage of not just the hands, but also a little bit of the good fortune, because he didn't even play a single +4. He didn't lay a hand on you all night, I have to say.
Yeah, I just like all City came to my benefit. Just like waiting to play like certain cards was just like having the right cards at the start.
We'll go over to LaPlante. I think you summed it up best, man. You threw that computer monitor on the screen. Is it still intact? And how do you bounce back after this the next tournament in probably April? I don't really got much for you. It's just unfortunate.
Nothing really. At least I could continue to sniff Sharpies once I can. That's it just comes to a point. Is this becoming fun now, or is this just becoming a more of a ridiculous thing on my part? Or no, sorry, more of a ridiculous thing that I keep getting screwed over. I mean, I'm keeping my composure right now, but god dang, can I at least move on again? Can I at least have luck in my side? That's all I got.
Yeah, it's the age-old question, right? When does it turn around? We have seen people 0-2. Right? Look at Toaster Guy. We've seen people make Super League from 0-2 stars. It's not out of the realm of possibility, even just to get back in the hunt. So we'll see what happens come April. Late April, I would say T3 will start. Will probably be a month. Don't think it'll be in May. I think we'll start in April. But we'll go over to Tapir. Not much to really comment on this series. Unfortunately, it was a little bit more of a unfortunate game where LaPlante rolled the dice and he came up empty, and for Myth, he found a little magic, and that's what he needed to get the win. Thoughts on this series? Really hard to comment on this one. Very quick.
Yeah, I mean, look, my number one takeaway is Monkey alluded to it. Look at those +4s, 5-0, right? If you're ALP, you're just kind of working against a bot, right? If you're Myth, you kind of have that extra ammo, a little bit of help there. I can't really say anything for either player, right? This was just one of those games where, sometimes you just have that.
This has been a presentation of MRE Division 1.
Blowout, right? You can't really do anything. ALP, he did all he could, right? It's just sometimes you just can't get away from it. Honestly, he still has his those skills in his belt. I think he can go far if it's just the bot that chooses to go on his side or not. Right? All depends on who the bot favors at that very moment. So, I guess well played, LaPlante. Good game, Myth. Yeah, that's about it for me. Yeah.
I don't got much either, my friend. Yeah, it was an unfortunate night for ALP as we'll go into the updated pod. I finally actually finished it and I transferred over. Myth moves on, and he'll get either Gross or Grim. That'll be an interesting one. They both know each other. Well, all three of them know each other. And Lane Sanders Monaco has now been corrected to Thursday, 8 o'clock. Lane controls the cards right now, the people that are playing. Of course, Nick on Vi Island. So Lane is the guy to control the highest seed in this entire region. We'll see what happens him against Eric. And then the co-finale of the round will be Logan Dark. That will be Dark's 100th. 2 more players left to get, or 3 more players technically left to get some accomplishments. Of course, Dark a hundo, Bowtie a hundo, and William Brock in the 100 Club. We know, or 100 Star Club. That needs to go to Game 6 though. We do know Ashley's after the work. We still have no idea on that game. She'll also join the 100 Win Club, but I don't know. Don't know about that one. We'll see how that one goes as the course of time goes on. Well, that's going to do it for tonight. Quick stream. Got us out of here. Congratulations to Myth on his 100th career start, and he wins the 100 series. Congratulations to him as he moves to an 8-11 career, 8-11, and we'll see what he'll do against either Ghost or Grim. We'll see if he gets a home game, too. We'll see if the upset happens. For myself, to Pierre, Not Short, Charles Sanford, Christian Tiger, the ref, Brad, of course, Monkey, and Myth and LaPlante, the players, I want to thank you guys for coming out. We'll see you for tomorrow. 5-pack of games. Going to be an insane day. Cannot wait for it. Should be a fun one. And we'll see you then. Have a good one, everybody. Take care. Stay well. This has been a presentation of MRE Ura Division 1.